Alright, welcome to my playthrough of Journal, which I've heard is a brief indie game slash interactive fiction title. I've heard it's not very good, so I'll eventually end up snarking on it, but not for the first 10 minutes or so, because I'm eating food and you don't want to hear me talk while I eat, because my mother told me that's rude and I tend to listen to what she has to say. Alright, without further ado, let's get into this.
I've kept a journal for as long as I can remember. I used it to chronicle my every thought and dream, until the day I opened it to find it completely blank. I feel like there's something up with my mother lately. She always means well, but something's off. It's just a feeling. Sometimes I worry about Eleanor being too shy. It makes things difficult, especially at school, but she's still my friend. I've known Eleanor since we moved to the area. She was my first friend round here, and I think I was probably hers too. We had each other and that's never changed, but even once I started to make other friends, she didn't. Eleanor and I tried to work out what might have happened to my journal. She's good at setting things out logically, even if we didn't get anywhere. Eleanor's upset because of a rumour that she broke a window at school. She says she didn't do it, but John already told her parents that it was her.
Alright, snack time is over, and now it's time to start talking. So far, not impressed with this game. Of course, it's only like 10 minutes in, so let's see what comes next. Oh, can I walk up the stairs? Okay, those are stairs. Is it supposed to be a boarded up school window? What's going on there? Okay, I can't move anymore towards that direction. Can't use what? Is that a telephone booth or a bus stop? What happens if I go this way? Oh, I can go to the park and talk to someone who I'm assuming is John.
John's a friend of the family, but he hasn't been around much lately. He works nearby, but there was a time he visited my parents and me often.
Hey, John. Long time no see. How have you been? I'm alright. Busy with school? Something like that. Chin up, you know what they say. Your school years are supposed to be the best years of your life. Enjoy them while you can. Yeah, I guess. Things have just been weird lately. Oh? What's up? Yeah, I'm not doing this reading things out in funny voices. Why are all the trees uprooted? That's supposed to be symbolism? Alright. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch the tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. My mother says no. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, tic-tac-toe. I forget tic-tac-toe. I mean, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, I'm indignant. Oh, so maybe I'm a jerk. Man, kid's mom's been porking John. That's my working theory. Should I be understanding or frustrated? Understanding or frustrated? What does the chat think? Should I be understanding or frustrated? U or F? The chat doesn't have an opinion. So I'm gonna be frustrated that they don't have an opinion. Alright.
I'd been thinking about how John doesn't visit anymore, and I tried to ask him about it. He didn't really give me an answer, so I didn't push the subject.
I just pushed the subject. Should I be irritated or persistent? I'm being recommended to play a role, and this John character is annoying me, so I'm gonna say that I am irritated. Trying to make you laugh. You don't even have a face. How can you make me laugh? It's an egg with hair. I'll be here, just casually leaning on my rake, not taking care of the park. Is it okay? There's a giant. There's a lot of post-it notes from one of those pads of paper that you think is a pad of post-it notes, but it's really just a pad of square-shaped paper. Those are the worst because they trick you into thinking that they're post-it notes, and then you peel one off and you try to stick it on something and you realize it's not sticky on the back, and then you hate yourself. Anyway, I'm leaving the park. I'm gonna go talk to Elena. Or Elena. Should I be straight or evasive? Straight or evasive? Let's go for Inky Pinky Ponky this time, because clearly I don't remember Eeny Meeny Miny Mo. Inky Pinky Ponky Donkey bought a daddy. Wait, no, that's the wrong way around. Inky Pinky Ponky, Daddy bought a donkey. Donkey died, Daddy cried, Inky Pinky Ponky. Alright, straight it is. Wait, that's evasive. Okay, now I'm being straight. I'm evasive first and then straight. Gotcha. You did it, didn't you? You broke that window and blamed it on me. I thought you were my friend. Whoa. No. Anyway. Is that denying that I'm her friend or denying that I did it? Oh, these are index cards. Looks like it's a special story choice. Special story choice. Although I'm confused as to how you can find index cards so tiny that they fit inside this journal. I don't understand the world of stationery that I have stepped into. I'm gonna admit that I did it. And then it's gonna turn out that it wasn't me, that it was the monster that lives under the school or something. And then Elena and I will hug it out at the end. Sorry, Elena and I will hug it out. Elena and I will hug it out. So what? It's not a big deal. It'll get repaired.
Eleanor overreacted about me telling John she'd broken the window. It's not as bad as she thinks it is, but she's really upset.
I'd be upset too. Well, Anna Green Gables is right. I can't believe that I did this to her. Ooh, 3 choices. It's like the Dragon Age dialogue wheel up in here. Unsympathetic, apologetic, or indifferent. Ooh. I've got a random number generator. Set to Canadian quarters. Although, I don't know how I'm going to use this because it's not a 3-sided coin. It keeps coming up heads. Oh, it finally came up tails. I think this is a loaded coin. I don't trust it. So I'm unsympathetic to the coin. That's not what unsympathetic means, but I don't care. Get over it.
We didn't leave things well after speaking about the window. Eleanor didn't want to talk about it anymore, and in a way I was glad.
Alright. Hey look, they're papers. No! They disappeared. Am I supposed to go back in there? Oh, screw it. I'm going to talk to John again. I'm not following what this game's telling me to do. Okay. Apparently I have to follow what this game's telling me to do. Apparently I have to play by its rules. I don't play by nobody's rules.
The Girl and the Roller Coaster. Once there was a great travelling carnival, renowned for its splendour across all the land.
Good.
Where they
British
travelled, they
spellings.
brought with them the strangest and most wonderful sights. The Big Top held some of the most talented circus performers who had ever lived. For the thrill seekers, of course, so much of this magic was just the backdrop for the rides. It was the rides that the girl cared about
Yes,
above all else.
the most thrilling rides. The Ferris
Each
wheel and
year
the
she
carousel.
returned, the ride seemed even more exciting. No more so than the year she was finally tall enough to ride the roller coaster.
That's an
In
upside
her
down
mind,
loop.
she had built it up to something
Those don't
almost
work.
unreal. Yet wonderfully, it did not disappoint.
You go flying off on one of
As
those.
she got older, life got more complicated. Until one year, she was so wrapped up in life that she decided not to go. It was months before she realised how a part of her felt empty at having missed it. A sense of loss she couldn't explain. However, the carnival never returned. Her mother told her perhaps it closed down. Carnivals were no longer so impressive in this day and age. For some reason, she blamed herself. As if somehow it was her fault they were gone. It had been so important to her. Why had she let it go?
She has better things to do with her life. Okay, so that was a bunch of metaphors that I don't really care about. Oh, there are 5 days. Okay. Let's go talk to Mumsy. Maybe I'm seeing her. Maybe she'll forgive me for being a total jerkwad. But, I'm gonna say no. Oh, she knows exactly what happened. You and Elena go way back. Like, to 3 years ago. I thought that was a moon. Apparently that's a coffee stain. I don't know if I approve of young people drinking that much coffee. It's not good for them. Egg of Green Gables is asking what I want. I'm mad at her, and I'm me. Playing as her. I'm mad at me. I actually don't think I said I was sorry. She called me out my BS. Okay. Passing a math test is really not that hard, especially if you're in grade school. I'm not great at math, so I didn't study, so I'd do even worse than normal. Great logic there. Red dress beret girl. Why is she wearing a beret? Just tell them it was me. Grow a pair. Well, she already has a pair of pigtails. I'm gonna play this as a jerk. I'm gonna be apathetic. Ooh, twisting the knife. I've got other plans. At 4 p.m., I'm going to be crying alone in my room. At 4 or 5 p.m., I'm going to get a tub of ice cream. And at 4:10 p.m., I'm going to go back to my room and eat the ice cream while crying on my bed. And I realize those times don't make any sense because the ice cream probably would have melted in the 5 minutes that it took me to get it from the kitchen to my room. And I have no idea why it took me 5 minutes to get it from the kitchen to my room. Anyway, I'm gonna leave. Sorry, I just need some time. If I were her, I'd have punched red dress girl in the face by now. Anyway. Let's go to the school. Slacker
I knew
douche.
Keith better, but he doesn't talk much about himself. He works really hard, but everyone still likes him.
What's up, Keith? Wait, no, that's my Keith voice. Not much. Looking forward to getting home later, actually. I think everyone's looking forward to going home. Yeah, but I've got this bike I'm working on, and I just feel like I could be getting so much more done if I were there. Who's Catherine? Is Catherine the name of the bike? I'm gonna ask about Catherine. Typical Catherine, wanting to be interested in the stuff that Keith likes. Yes, she wants you to put your mouth on her mouth. I don't really know if she's my type. Go for it, man. You're a teenager. Young love. What is your type? If he says girls in red dresses, I'm just gonna punch my computer screen. Hey, this is kind of embarrassing. I'm actually gay. Can we talk about something else?
It's not surprising that Catherine's been all over Keith. If they got together, the whole school would be talking about it.
I mean, we're talking about it right now. We're not even in the school. A bike? That's so cool. Okay, this conversation is just non sequiturs. Okay, so they're playing hopscotch, but they're old enough to ride motorbikes. And there's a gigantic fire extinguisher on the floor. What the hell is up with this school? Oh, that's with the test. That's the most condescending thing I've ever heard in my life. Could not have come up with a more condescending response. Catherine is too good for you, Keith. Alright? She dodged a bullet by you not being interested in her. Now he's just being a cocky douchebag. I haven't told him a very reassuring person. I have a way with words. It's like he went to this. It's like he's been browsing the red pill and learning all about negging and ladder theory. I don't even know what ladder theory is. All I know is that douche bros are into that shit. Okay. Good luck on your retake. I don't even know if I failed it yet. What a douche. And she points it out. Good. Just doesn't worry about that. Why do you wish me luck on a retake? You're such a douche. Such a douche. She's even dressed like a douche. What a douche. I can go up the stairs. Is that Catherine?
There's always something going on with Trevor. He's always in trouble for something. It's almost as if he enjoys it.
Hey, Trevor. Oh, hey, it's you.
I've always been envious of Trevor's ability to draw. I wish I had a talent like that.
Band-Aid wall! Ba-na-na-na-na, bum. Bum. Alright, let's go to the main hall. Is that Catherine?
I've always envied Catherine a little bit. She's beautiful and popular, and even though she's not that smart, almost everyone likes her.
She's like the Kate Upton of this school. Alright. There's a joke about about heads that look like eggs and chickens and headless chickens in there somewhere, but I'm too lazy to make it. Oh, come on, don't being so serious. Looks like you've got a bug in your indie game, Richard Perrin. You should, correct that. Why is this girl popular? She's such a dick. I don't like you, Catherine. I think you're a dick.
I don't know why I go along with Catherine messing Anne around so much. Anne's not so bad, really.
Ah, she's like a psycho. How is this girl popular? If I knew that girl in real life, well, I wouldn't punch her in the face. I'd want to punch her in the face. No, I'll go back into the school. Staff room.
Mrs. Martin is a good teacher. She can be strict, but she hasn't forgotten what it's like to be a kid.
Yeah, most teachers don't see most parents. I think red dress girl's a cheater. Why would... If I were a teacher, I wouldn't tell who had the same answer as the other girl. Because, I'd go fishing.
She knew
For it.
something was suspicious about the test, but I didn't know what to tell her. I would have done anything to pass the maths test. The last thing I wanted to do was have to take it again.
Yeah, classroom's empty. Anne!
Anne's always been a really good student, and that's never changed. She's really smart, but she takes things so seriously that some people tease her for it.
Color spelled correctly coded. FYI. Okay. Yeah, you don't really need to do all that. I was a straight A student, I never needed to do that crap. It is a waste of time. Learn what you need to learn. Don't waste time on other crap. Do it on your own time.
It's terrible that everyone treats Anne so badly. It's why you shouldn't stand out at school. People don't like it.
Says the girl wearing the red dress and the beret. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why she's so popular either. I agree with egg with glasses. What? No, I thought support have been supporting Anne's position. I don't think she's nice. I think she's a dick. Everybody wants to get in Keith's pants.
Anne's never really shown any interest in boys in our class before. Her asking about Keith came out of the blue.
Alright, let's go talk to Keith. Do I want to... I want to screw with Catherine. What? How does that choice mean? You have to label your choices properly. I thought that meant talk to Keith about Catherine making fun of Anne, not go choose Catherine. What kind of bullcrap is this? This is not what I meant to do.
I've known both Anne and Catherine for a long time, but my friendship with Catherine is important. I've always supported Catherine when she's asked.
This is turning out to be a total dud of an indie game. Like, before I was just snarking for fun, and now I'm actually legitimately frustrated with the game, where apparently the big choices are labeled so vaguely that you end up making the wrong ones. I hate Catherine, so I'm gonna blame her.
This situation with the test is a mess. Catherine's too stubborn to ever admit to doing something wrong. Somehow she always manages to turn it around.
Yeah, now I'm just gonna be vindictive and ruin Catherine.
Trevor was only trying to help out when he got the answers for me. I should never have given them to Catherine too. Maybe Catherine's right about Trevor, but I don't want to deal with it at the moment. I've got enough problems already.
Like middle school bullshit simulator. Okay. Hello again. I did speak to Catherine. No, it's not complicated. Catherine did everything.
I told Mrs. Martin it was Catherine who cheated on the test, and really, it was her fault. She was the one who didn't cover for both of us.
Screw this, I'm going home.
The Lion and the Chicken. Mallory had worked the carnival's coconut shy for nearly 5 years. He didn't like to talk about his own life, but he loved being part of the great carnival. He always took his lunch in the big top. He liked to watch the tightrope walkers and dreamed of one day being up there himself.
That's a tightrope walker, that's a trapeze artist.
One evening, the Lion came to him in his dreams. He knew of Mallory's desire to be up there in the spotlight and offered a deal.
I always thought of Mallory as a girl's
Bring me one of
name.
the circus master's prize chickens, and I will help you get what you want.
What the hell kind of circus has chickens?
Mallory felt bad about stealing the chicken. He knew how much the circus master loved them. Yet he could not pass up this chance. He slept uneasy that night with the knowledge of the blood in his hands. In his dreams he sought out the Lion to return the favour. The Lion regarded Mallory with disdain, and told him he was merely a lion and could not help him reach the heights of the tightrope. Mallory demanded to know why he had lied to him. The Lion told him it was not his fault. His instincts drove him to eat, and he would have promised Mallory anything to satisfy himself. No one ever confronted Mallory over the chicken, but he was sure they all knew. He never felt happy there again.
Circus metaphor is so on the nose. No, my friendship with Catherine is not important. No, because I'm tired of this BS.
My mother wanted me to pick up a package from the post office. It made me really anxious for some reason, but she seemed pretty insistent.
That's a little bit, ominous. What's wrong with Niagara Falls? Ooh, the fake-ass post-it note is gone. Oh, it's a Bobby. Apparently you can't keep bothering him.
Mr. Collinsworth has run the charity shop in town for as long as I can remember. I can spend hours in there, chatting with him or searching for treasures. He knows just about everyone, and always seems to have something special just for them.
I'm preoccupied because I want to go to the post office.
Whenever I visited the old charity shop, it was like there was always something new and wonderful to see. I don't know why the snow globes excited me so much, but they just seemed special somehow. I've seen this guy around town a few times before. He doesn't stay in one place long, but he's still something of a permanent fixture.
You girl. I've decided that red dress girl's interested in homeless people. Give me here a minute. I'm afraid that whatever I choose next will lead to a game over screen. Don't matter. Look, girl, I just need a little pick me up. I'm gonna call him a tramp. What? How's that not calling him a tramp? How is tramp equivalent to, are you okay? Oh my god, the labeling of choices in this game is just redonkulously stupid. Where's Trevor here? Ruler's in the way. Oh man, the superhero comic fans are gonna be all over that one. Childish. Something meaningful, like this game, which is so full of itself. me... Oh, so she's agoraphobic, or has anxiety, or both, or who knows. I want the package.
I couldn't face getting the package on my own. I just froze up. Thankfully, Trevor was there to help me sort it all out. But I still felt like a failure for not doing it on my own.
Let's talk to homeless guy again. I guess I didn't go anywhere. Let's talk to Bobby again.
A policewoman stopped me because one of the snow globes had been stolen. I had no idea what to tell her. I'd never been in trouble with the police before.
I didn't want to take the snow globe. I'm gonna return it.
I could tell he suspected that I'd stolen the snow globe. I felt this horrible sinking feeling in my stomach.
Maybe I can frame him for the snow globe.
Keith wanted to thank me for helping him find a girlfriend, but it just made me feel even worse about it.
It made me feel worse because you made me select the wrong option, you stupid game. Yeah, he's been too busy porking Catherine to work on his damn bike. Why is everyone on my back at the moment? Because you're an unlikable dickwad. That's why. Trevor's not here today. Let's go talk to Anne. Screw this. Ain't nobody here. Staff room. Why are kids hanging out in the staff room? This is not allowed. Okay, let's get out of here. Getting tired of this game.
I don't know why I had such trouble with picking up the package. It felt stupid to admit it to Mum, but the whole thing felt impossible at the time. I didn't really want to admit to Mum that I'd stolen the snow globe. I thought it would make me feel better, but instead I just felt worse.
Better. The red dress girl's a jerk.
Taking the snow globe back to Mr. Collinsworth was one of the hardest things I have ever done. It hurt to see the look on his face, but what hurt the most was that I knew things would never be the same.
Okay, now what am I supposed to do? To go back to the school and talk to Keith. I can't even figure out what I'm supposed to do next. Man, this game is terrible. Nope, Band-Aid. I guess it means I have to talk to Keith or something.
I was pretty upset about what happened with Keith. I knew he didn't like me the way I liked him, but it still hurt to think about it.
Finally, it's over. Okay, on to day 3.
The Burning Heart. They called him the Amazing Randolph, but no one at the carnival knew his real name. His tricks earned him the title of wizard, though in truth he was an alchemist. He knew how to change one thing into another. Pocket watch into golden glitter, water into wine. On stage he would astound. In private he answered personal requests. Most people came to him seeking their fortune and left disappointed by the limits of his powers. A woman came to him, wanting to make her love for another disappear. He told her he could only transform it. She accepted. The pain of longing had been unbearable. The alchemist had taken it from her and given her fire instead. Soon everything she touched lit with a blaze. As she watched those around her scream in torment, she just smiled. It didn't hurt her anymore. She found a new role at the carnival as the girl who danced with fire. People knew to keep their distance now, lest they feel the pain of her embrace.
Man, these circus segments are just so dumb. Okay, so let's recap what happened so far. I argued with Elena, then mistakenly got Keith to hook up with Catherine, stole a snow globe that I never intended to steal, picked up a package from a post office, and have hated almost every second of it. Let's talk to Mom. Hell is that supposed to mean?
Mum wanted me to visit Grandma's grave and say a few words about how I felt.
Not good, 'cause she's dead. Which way to the church? Yeah, I'm really thankful that I learned all about organismal biology in school. All those biochemical reactions. Man, I don't know what I'd do if I didn't learn all about them.
I wanted things to go back to the way they were with Henry. It was a stupid mistake. I lost his trust and his friendship.
I've never done anything to you. And I walked into a ruler. Ugh, now Trevor's being one of those philosophical douche-wazzles. Yeah, you're not cut out for it. You're also a douche nozzle. Trevor's right. No, I don't want to go in there. Ugh.
realised how bad things had gotten between me and Eleanor. I never expected her to stand up to me like that.
I got a Steam achievement for that. I got a Steam achievement for being a jerk. Alright. No, she hasn't mentioned her. Otherwise, I would have remembered. I mean, okay, this is not... Can I just, take off my snark hat and put on my amateur game critic hat on right now? You can't make me feel bad for something I didn't do. That's not how you engender emotions in people, right? Just like, I don't know, for example, why do people respond positively to being made to feel bad for things they did in, say, Spec Ops: The Line or Hotline Miami? It's because they were, perhaps tricked into doing something unethical, but they went along with it and they actually did it. They experienced these things. Whereas, in something like L.A. Noire, people get mad that, Cole cheated on his wife because they had no agency in deciding that. Here it's even worse. Not only does the player not have any agency in deciding, that not to listen about Heather, we're not even shown at any prior point that Heather is a person who exists. I can't feel bad about not hearing about Heather if I, as a player, have never had the opportunity to hear about Heather. That's why this game is so aggravating. It gives me agency about things, or tries to, but labels the choices properly. It gives me agency about some things. And of course a game can't give you agency about everything, but it tries to make you feel bad for things over which you have agency and things over which you don't have agency, and tries to make you feel equally bad about both those things. And that doesn't work, because obviously I'm going to feel worse about the choices that I actually made versus choices that I didn't even know that the game had already made for me. And that's why this game is so aggravating. Okay. Anyway, I'm done ranting. I'm gonna talk to Blankface Dickface. There's gotta be a better name for that. Blankface Dickwad. Hi, Catherine. How are things? Now I'm getting petulant. He's gonna be a jerk to everyone now, including Keith. I'm going out for 2 days. You already defined the relationship. You already had the talk. Okay. She's always in the staff room. Does she actually teach? Why is there never anybody in classroom 1? Want to hang out in classroom? No. Get out of here. Class 2.
Anne moving away felt weird. Not because we were close or anything, but because I'd never realised how much she hated it here.
It's alright. I hated middle school too. Well, that's because middle school was crazy racist, but that's another story for another time. Okay. Oh. What the hell? Oh. It just goes around in a circle. I get it now. Nope. Not talking to Mom. Going to the church. Talk to this guy who looks like he has great devil horns coming out of his egghead. Let me jump on the altar. Nope, can't do it. Let me pause for a second here. Okay, good. Still going. Just trying to make sure my stream is still working. Alright, I don't know, maybe that's not why I'm here right now, though. Papa Devil asks if I want to talk about it. And I'm like, not really, but thanks. Perhaps you could tell me why you don't normally visit the church? No reason. Apparently saying, I'm atheist and I hate you is not one of the choices. Nope. thinking about things is hard and I don't want to do it. I'm like that with some of my relatives. I think I am a bad person, because I was a jerk to all my supposed friends, and I cheated on a test, and I stole a snow globe. I'm pretty sure I'm a bad person, Father. The truth about why I stopped loving her? I don't know, because she was a crazy old bat and started being a jerk to me? Yeah, I'm not going to forgive her.
Talking to the priest confused me even more than I was already. But it made me realise how guilty I felt that my grandmother's death didn't bother me as much as people expected.
Alright, I'll have to talk to Mom. And to Dad, who's living in a crappy bachelor apartment.
I talked to Dad about Gran. He was right about her all along. She was such a horrible person by the end.
Yep, I was right. She and John were porking. What confused denial? What would I be denying? Oh, so she's the one who cheated, so why did he move out? Doesn't make any sense.
I'd always hoped Dad and Mum would fix things and get back together. I was shocked to realise neither of them were even trying.
I sure as hell wouldn't try.
Dad let slip that John was involved in his breakup with Mum, but he didn't seem to want to tell me why.
They did the horizontal cha-cha, alright? How stupid are you?
I'd never even met this Rachel, and Dad was already dating her. I'm not sure I'm ready for him to be seeing someone new.
Nope. Okay. Can't break into apartment 23 for some reason.
I don't know why it took me so long to decide what I wanted to say. I was surprised Mum was on Dad's side with this. Neither of them cared about repairing their relationship. When I spoke at her grave, I tried to tell Gran what I really felt, but I'm not sure if there was any point in doing it. Maybe in the end, it was for my sake and not for hers.
Can I go home now? Kinda tired of this game. Okay, apparently I have to go do some other crap. I can't just go. Ugh. Oh, this whole cliche. When my parents broke up, and I feel bad about it because they don't care about my feelings story. It's just been done to death, and I just, as valid a story as it is, I just don't care.
John told me my dad was looking for my permission to date Rachel. I found it hard to believe Dad cared that much what I thought.
A big pointed question. That's the kind of filthy humor that I miss from stupid, pretentious indie games like this. A big pointed question that I stuck right in her. I made a mistake. How do you mistakenly have sex with someone? That's what I want to know. How do you accidentally have sex? There's a lot of steps involved in getting to a place where you're banging somebody. Performing all of them in a row correctly can never be accidental. Yeah, this is just stupid. I don't even know what to say. Like, accidental sex. Come on. Alright. Yeah, I'm glad you're leaving. 'Cause you porked my mom. How easily something like this can happen. How easy it is to take off your pants and slap on a rubber and undress your partner and ram it in her. My God. Yeah, I'm not gonna feel sorry for it. 'Cause I'm not gonna cheat. Actually, Red Dress Girl might cheat on somebody because she's a jerk and she cheats on tests and breaks windows and steals snow globes. So, I'm sure she would cheat on her future boyfriend, whom I'm guessing will be Keith.
I may never find out exactly what happened with Mum and John, but it seems like it hurt everyone pretty badly.
No, not Mom. I think she enjoyed it. I think she had a great time. Well, as John was rough with her. Anyway. God. Okay. Alright. Just excuse me for 30 seconds. I will be back shortly. Alright, sorry, that was a lot longer than 30 seconds, and I apologize for that. But since Twitch doesn't allow for highlights longer than 2 hours anymore, that might actually end up being a good thing. This will be a natural kind of breaking point. Also, screw the new Twitch rules. They're stupid. Twitch can go to hell now, even though I'm using it right now. Alright. Not WASD, the arrow keys. Let's talk to Mom again. Alright. Yeah, it's actually kind of stupid to think that bringing a partner into your life will magically improve it.
It might have been selfish, but I had to be honest with Dad. It's all too much right now.
Good, I can go home. I don't have to pretend that I care about this dumb nonsense anymore. Get home faster. Walk faster. Walk faster. Home. Alright. Okay, this is definitely a bug. Because I couldn't spacebar anything there. It was just showing that I could spacebar things.
The Man and the Mirror. Marvin was lonely. His friends had harassed him until he'd agreed to come to the carnival, but he'd rather have been at home. Everywhere he went, it was like he could almost see her, but it was never her. She hadn't been there in a long time. He escaped the group as they headed for the roller coaster. His eyes had been caught by something much more mysterious, the Hall of Truth. The old man outside promised that whomever entered would have their truest desires made real before their eyes. Marvin stood in the hall of toy mirrors distorting his shape in unnatural ways and decided this had been a mistake. He tried to leave but found he was lost in an endless maze of mirrors. He was fed up and wanted to go home. Then something in the reflection caught his eye. He was not alone. Every mirror showed a moment of revelry between him and his friends. So many good times. He wandered the labyrinth of magic mirrors, desperately seeking the right one, where she was still with him. He awoke to sunlight as the carnival was disassembled around him. His night of searching had led to nothing but exhaustion. The old man who ran the store laughed at Marvin. It's hard, isn't it, to face what we truly need when our minds are clouded with things we want. Marvin went home, unsure if it had all been a dream, and even more unsure of what kind of person he had become.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that had to do with anything. Whoops, I clicked through too fast.
Mum told me I had to go to the hospital. I I've been putting it off for a while, but I just didn't want to face it.
Oh, now it's raining. Oh, and everything's symbolically empty. I don't know what says I can interact with that when I clearly can't. But okay. Nobody there. Don't feel like going there. Okay, I have to talk to all the major characters in turn, and then I can go to the hospital. Some bullcrap like that, probably, right? Anyway, let's go talk to all the major characters. See what they have to say. Okay, the antique shop is just gone now, apparently.
It was no surprise to me that Catherine was utterly clueless. I couldn't blame her. If things had been the other way round, what would I say? I had no idea Mrs. Martin had lost a child. I don't know why, but it helped to be reminded I'm not the only person to go through something like this. Anne wanted to help, but she couldn't. No one could. It was long past the point where anyone could. Keith means well, but he just makes me feel even worse about everything. I lost Eleanor as a friend that day. I was so angry at her. I wanted to blame her for it, but it was my fault.
Oh, so meta. Even if you made different choices, it wouldn't have changed the outcome. It's like The Walking Dead Season 2. Boom, boom, psh. Anyway.
John told me it wasn't my fault. I wanted to believe him, but I just wanted so hard to turn back the clock. I thought the priest would have something to say that made me feel better about everything. But instead, he made me feel like this would go on forever.
And ever and ever and ever. And ever and ever and ever. Just trying to make sure that I got all the people. Apparently these are docks. But no, they're actually rocks. Hey, Trev.
I guess I'd always been dismissive about Trevor, but he was the only one of my friends who seemed to understand what I was going through.
Central Hospital.
I wanted the nurse to tell me everything was going to be fine, but I appreciated her honesty. Everyone is always too worried about upsetting me to simply tell me the truth.
What is this? All the people from the circus are in the hospital?
I never thought I'd see my father like this. He'd always been so strong in spite of everything. To see him so broken was a shock. That day at the carnival was like a dream. It was all too much to process. I couldn't accept that any of it was really happening. That day at the carnival was like a dream. It was all too much to process.
The end of Grace.
I couldn't accept that any of it was really happening.
They called her Lady Grace, but in truth, she was the big boss. Nothing happened at the carnival without her approval. When she inherited the carnival from her father, it already had a grand reputation. Under her leadership, it would become so much more. She demanded that everyone who walked through the gates would find something that would amaze, excite, or delight them. There had been a few accidents, but nothing serious. She managed every aspect of maintenance carefully and fired anyone who didn't. She was always calm and decisive. No matter how bad things got, she always had a plan to fix whatever problems arose. Until the day the big wheel fell. Only one cart had come loose, and later she was told the damage was so subtle it would have been impossible to spot beforehand. However, that cart had been occupied. A young girl had ridden alone while her mother and sister waited at the bottom. To any other carnival, a single blameless death might not have been the end. However, their renown worked against them. Soon all their bookings were being cancelled, and it hit everyone hard, especially Lady Grace. She gathered everyone together for one final meal, to remember the good times, to celebrate what they had achieved, to say goodbye.
What's written on the pages of my journal is not a chronicle of my life. None of these moments really happened like this, but this is how I remember them now. Looking back at my childhood, It's hard to understand why I said the things I did. I didn't understand how they would affect the people around me. Every choice I remember opens a door to a different world, a dream of how things might have been if I'd made better choices. When I tore out those pages, I thought I could write a new story, a second chance when I'd lost all hope, a better history than the one that actually happened.
Oh, Cairo, Richard Perrin's previous game.
In this new reality, we'd still be together, but eventually, I had to wake up.
Okay, the timing... This is so shoddily made. You shouldn't be skipping dialogue as I keep walking forward if I'm walking forward too fast. Either that, you slow down the sprite's running speed.
This is the day my sister died. See you around, sis. See you around, sis. I'm sorry I lied to you. I didn't tell you about her, about how amazing she was. I should have used our time together to explain to you just how caring and generous she was.
Yeah, you kinda should.
I'm not saying she was perfect, but she was a better person than I could ever be. She made me who I am, and by pretending she didn't exist, I've betrayed her.